Hey guys, it's Gillyweed with the IMBAbuilds audio guide to the classic PvP 3-gate Robo build. Don't forget to check the video description below for a link to the IMBAbuilds website where you'll find tips on this build and other replays of it in action. In a second, I'll ask you to pause this video while you start a game against an easy AI Protoss opponent. Once the game loads, pause it and come back here. I'll then give you a countdown and you can resume your game. Ready? Pause the video. Welcome back. Get ready to unpause the game and start your first probe in 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You just started your first probe. Keep making them. You'll warp in your first pylon after starting your 9th probe. You should have just started your 9th probe. When you get close to 100 minerals, pull out a probe to warp in a pylon near your nexus, then return it to mining. Your pylon should finish at the same time as your 10th probe. When able, start an 11th probe and chrono boost it out. Chrono boost the nexus. When it finishes, use your 12th probe to warp in a gateway, then send it to scout around your base for proxy play before mining. Warp in 2 assimilators. Pull out a probe to warp in a pylon at your ramp. You should be at 16 supply. When your first assimilator finishes, put 3 probes on it. Chrono boost the nexus. Pull out a probe to warp in a cyber core as soon as the gateway completes. Then put 3 probes on your second assimilator. Chrono boost the nexus. Warp in a pylon. When your cyber core finishes, start a stalker at the gateway, warp gate research, and a mothership core. Chrono boost the nexus. You should then be at 25 supply. Resume probe production once the mothership core is out. Warp in a Robo facility at 100 gas. When your stalker finishes, start a sentry and another pylon. Chrono boost the nexus. Warp in 2 gateways. When the Robo finishes, start an observer. You should have around 31 supply. Chrono boost the Robo. Make an immortal when your observer is finished. Warp in a pylon. Chronoboost the Cyber Core. Once warp gate research is finished, transform your gateways into warp gates. Warp in 2 stalkers, a sentry, and a pylon. Your first immortal should finish around 640. By that point, you should have around 40 supply or 3 stalkers, 2 sentries, an observer, immortal, mothership core, and 24 probes. From here, you can transition into an all-out attack or a macro game. For an attack, continue immortal production and warp in units 3 at a time. Set up a proxy pylon and attack while reinforcing from that pylon. To transition into a macro game, stop army production after your first immortal and drop a Nexus at the Natural, as well as a Robo Bay or Twilight Council. Aim for a Stalker Colossus or Charge Lot Immortal army in the mid-game. Good luck and have fun!